Hello YouTube. It's been about 2 and a bit months since we've last talked, and we're talking to you about a build again. This time we're not talking about Achilles Confusion build though. We're going to be talking about my new build, one I've been working on for a while, and I think it's time to be released. The build's called Synerfusion, so Synergy of Confusion, and is built strongly around synergies of different abilities that the Mesmer has to really bring out its potential. The really good things about this is it is a highly scalable build, so it works well solo, it works well in small groups, and works well in big groups, which is really, really important. One of the things I wanted to make sure with my previous build as well. It is a high micro build though, so it does require quite a bit of APM actions per minute to run. You'll be doing a lot of button pressing, so try to stay away from as much mouth use as possible. And I'm a big mouse user, so it's been a bit of a challenge for me, but I think I've got it down pat now too. The basic idea behind this build is a group survival psychological combat synergy, and it's really designed to play off what we've previously had in Confusion builds to really create a build that sets itself aside. So without going further into it, and I'm a bit of a mouth all over the place today, let's go look at the traits, and it's a standard when we look at any build, but I'm running a 030, 030, 10, which is, at the moment, the only build that's going to be listed on the Guild Wars forums in regards to Mesmers that is running this sort of build makeup. And the reasons I've gone for this is to really create a build which allows you to not only create some damage from yourself, but also create a very, and I've used create like about 5 times in that sentence, but a very supportable build that allows you to be useful in larger groups. Let's have a look at what I've chosen. So for dueling, I've chosen Protected Mantras, which is increasing armor from mantras, and I am using some mantras. Mantras are like the friend you don't want to tell everyone else you've got. They're great, but you sort of embarrassed. Oh, I've got a mantra. But I think they work really, really well with this build. Deceptive Evasion. Now this ties in really well with critical infusion, because this build does run a really high crit chance. So you're running a critical pretty much every single hit. It's 103% when you've got Fury running. So you've got your Vigor running potentially 100% of the time, which means you're going to be doing twice the amount of dodges, which plays in really well with Deceptive Evasion. Now, this synergizes really well, and we're going to be jumping around a bit with Inspiration 3, which is your Vigorous Revelation. Because you're producing a lot more clones, you're shattering a lot more. I mean, I'm running F1 to F4 continuously and running up their cooldown timers. You're giving your whole team extra vigor, which means that they're dodging twice as much, and their damage mitigation's even higher as well. Also running Empowering Mantras for 4% more damage for a ready mantra, which is really good because we're running a couple of mantras there as well. Over here, we've already talked about 3, we're running Warden's Feedback, and this ability is absolutely and utterly amazing. It turns what I believe one of the most powerful skills in the game, because it does already the ability to speed up friendlies, slow down enemies, and pull. Gives you like 3 different abilities on one, gives you now a 4th one, creating an actual wall that reflects. I better move around, I'm going to be kicked soon. Really powerful, and it also makes your Warden reflected too. Absolutely brilliant. And Restorative Mantras. So this heals allies whenever you cast a mantra. This is brilliant because you'll be healing about 2,500 health on your friendlies whenever you're casting a mantra. Really powerful. And then finally, Illusions. We've got 10 in there. And we've got Cry of Frustration, Grants Retaliation. Retaliation's that extra little hit we can do, which allows us to then produce a bit more damage in there. Alright, let's look at the items I'm wearing. So I'm running a full set of Norgus, which are precision-based power condition, with a full set of superior runes of Rage, which are very crit-based and grant Fury. And when you're running Fury, you get extra damage as well. Really handy, especially when you're in a party where you've got a warrior, for example, granting Fury. This is going to be absolutely brilliant to give you that extra critical damage as well, since you're running it 24/7 anyhow. Weapons-wise, we're running Berserker sets. So I'm running the Superior Sigil Perception, so very similar to the Confusion build where I got +10 to Confusion, now it's +10 to Precision. And I'm running 3 stacks of Might, just can't get away from the battle, and Sigil of Blood, 30% chance on critical to steal. Really important, as this synergizes with the food we're running, which will be our, where are ya? Our Omnumberry Ghosts, which shows 66% chance to steal life on critical, plus extra precision. So you've got pretty much 100% chance to steal life on any critical you do, which is pretty much every single hit. Great. This really helps out, come in for the lower health and the lower toughness. And that's where it synergizes with it. You need to really have all the pieces together for this to work. We've got, on the jewelry side of things, Coral Orichalcum sets, or also known as rampages, with emerald jewels, and on the back I'm just running a cavalier spine guard, power, precision, toughness with another emerald jewel. Alright, let's talk about the actual build itself. So the build, scalability wise, really increases the power of everyone around it, because you're going to have the amount of clone increase. You're going to get a lot more shadows, which means it's going to give everyone vigor. You can also give everyone regen by running your illusion setup, and you're getting group heals when you're using your mantras. So it becomes very viable in regards to a support sort of aspect, which is really important to have that support. Now, on top of that, you get the support capability to protect your allies with things like feedback and your reflection from your focus 4 and 5 as well. It's also quite a survivable build because you're running such a high uptime in regards to any sort of health lifesteal. I mean, you're running a 103% crit chance, and you've got 66 and a 33% chance of getting lifesteal. You're looking at every single hit giving you life back, which is really important because it keeps you going there. Plus, you're running a constant vigor, which is you get your dodge and your survivability in that way. Finally, what's really powerful for me too is the psychological warfare side of things, especially someone like me who runs around with confusion for the last 6 months. You can open up combat with a feedback and a couple of clones via Cry of Frustration, and the enemy will think you're running a confusion build because you've already put up 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks. On top of that, you can throw in the confused images and bam, there's all your confusion. Right? There's your big stacks to start with. They'll start playing around based on, I'm dealing with a confusion mesmer. Next thing you know, you're starting to throw in damage without having to require confusion. They don't know how to handle it, and you burn them down really quickly. I mean, with a well-placed Mantra of Pain power spike, and these power spikes are doing 1700-1800 damage a hit, and a really good, well-used Arcane Thievery, you can demolish people extremely quick, as fast as I can kill someone with 10-15 stacks on them as well. So let's talk about my utilities. I am running a Mantra of Recovery and a Mantra of Pain. When these are up, it's an extra 8% damage, which is always brilliant. Plus, whenever I'm casting these, not only am I, healing myself, doing damage, I'm also then healing my party as well. Really good thing about mantras is you can be casting something else, and, well, I can't think I can get a target on that, let me show you guys now, but you can cast a mantra while another spell is being channeled, which means you've got the ability to do a burst damage or a quick heal while something's happening, which is great. Really handy. As you'll see, I'm still running my hounds because there's nothing better than a hound, really, when it comes to ultimate at the moment as a human. The versatility of this build really shines because it allows you to be useful in multiple situations. It allows you to be adaptable. I've found when I'm running around with this build, I die very, very rarely unless we've got a humongous Zerg attacking us. So my accuracy will usually sit at the 25 for long periods of time because I'm continuously keeping myself up and keeping my teammates up, as well as being able to reflect a lot of projectiles, both with feedback and with Temple Curtain. On top of that, my Confusion's still doing a decent amount. It's doing 215 damage on skill use. I mean, it's about half of what Kelly's Confusion Mesmer build does. But it's still, nothing bad about it at all. Confusing images, whenever I'm hitting, will hit for about 1200 per tick out of the 5 ticks. So you're doing 6,000 damage with a 3-second confusing images, plus doing 5 stacks, doing 1,000 odd on use. A lot of damage, potential there, which is really good. Lastly, Staff has been one of the most defensive weapons we've got. Actually starting to cast Chaos Storm on self or on allies as opposed to an offensive one has been quite useful when I've got a larger group and you really want to offer them support. Well, that's the basics of it. What makes this build, as I said, highly micro-intensive is you're going to be getting your energy back extremely quickly. You want to be on top of it. Every time it gets to halfway, you want to dodge. So you've got to get yourself into the mode or the mood to be dodging. As soon as that's happening, you're continuously casting any clone creation you've got and rotating through your F1s, F4s. If you're doing this build well, all 4 of these should be on cooldown because you're producing that many clones and you're taking advantage of it. And you're doing more damage, you're doing confusion, you've got retaliation coming in, you've got dazing going on, and you've got invulnerability as well. Absolutely brilliant, works really well. I'll see if I can get a video of it in action, guys. Love to hear what you guys think, but welcome to Kilia's Synerfusion build.